You are listening to Two Guys and a Topic with your hosts, Alan and Rusty.
This is Alan, and Rusty's sitting here with me. Two Guys and a Topic. Tonight we're going to ask you some questions. Hopefully people will give us a call. If not, we're going to be asking ourselves these questions, and that might be entertaining in itself. But what we have are three sections of questions here. We have the first section, which is the snorkels. You know, you ever been snorkeling, put them things on, get in the water, kind of float on top? These questions are kind of on the surface. So they're not threatening. They're easy questions just to get the conversation going. Then we have the scuba diving questions. That's where you put the tank on, you get in a little bit, you know, and then we have the deep sea diving questions, which are the really deep ones. So if you're brave enough to take on one of these questions, we'll let you. 1 through 35 is snorkel. 36 through 175 is the scuba, and 176 to 201 is the deep sea. And so we're going to open it up with a question or two of our own.
And I hope everybody out there paid attention to all that, because
I'll say it again.
I didn't get it.
I'll say it again. Just know that 1 through 35 is safe.
Okay. Very good.
And if you're brave, you can move up from there. And what we'll ask you to do, if you want to call in, is just call in and pick a number. That way, I mean, I got them all numbered here, and we'll read the question off. You might get a lucky one. You might get one that's not too scary. But you might get one and you can copy somebody else's if you like.
I'll be happy to start off with I'll pick a number.
Okay, pick a number.
23.
23. Someone has just offered you $50,000 to free fall to the ground from a helicopter, 300 feet in the air, since Rusty's afraid of heights.
Yes.
All the details of this fall have been carefully worked out by experts. On the ground will be a huge airbag used by professional stuntmen to break your fall. Providing that you jump right and hit the bag, you will be safe. Will you jump? And would you do it for $1 million?
For $1 million, yeah, I would do it. I would do it for $500,000. What was the initial offer?
$50,000.
I would. Yeah, maybe. That's a lot of money, man. But you know, you buy any vehicle.
You could, but you could also die. You could land on a new vehicle.
You got to weigh out the things. But the thing is, you're not that likely to die, though, right? Well, they said that they weighed everything out. I know there's always that. Well, you know what, though? There's always something that might happen to you when you're driving a vehicle down the road.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're not the professional doing the falling. You know, these guys have got it all figured out. But what if you fall wrong? What if you spread your arms and fly like a squirrel?
Well, what I would do, I would start at like 10 feet.
Work your way up,
and then I would work my way up until that initial.
It'd cost $100,000 just to get you to the.
For $50,000, I would do it. Oh man, you know what? About $200,000, I would do it.
$200,000. I would probably do it for $50,000.
Would you really do it for $50,000?
Because I mean, I could pay off all my debts and.
You know what? It's tempting. You know, and it's one of those things. You know, you could speak hypothetically, but somebody actually showed you the money.
It's like those locked up abroad things. You know what I mean? There are people are like, "Hey, here's my friend. You don't know him. His name is Pablo. You can go to Colombia for free if you'll just take this bag of."
Right.
You know. Okay. I still wouldn't do that, but I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody came up to me with $50,000 and said, yeah, you really did get it, I mean, reality would set in.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. If reality set in, that could work both ways, though, I guess. It could be a success or a big splat, but, you know, I guess my family would enjoy it.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. I mean, I'd probably be stupid enough to do it.
Yeah.
300 feet, that's a pretty good ways.
That's a long way.
Doesn't sound like it, but that's about as...
Well, how high is a bungee jump?
300 feet, it's about... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't...
I'm guessing it's...
I mean, I rappelled off of a 150-foot cliff.
Anybody knows how high a bungee jump is, call in and tell us.
So,
because I don't know.
So, I mean, and that was pretty high, but I rappelled off of that. And so you double that. I mean, that was high up.
Right.
So that's a pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I fell through the church roof at a 3-story level. That's 30 feet, and that was high up.
That wasn't while ziplining, though.
No, that was no zipping there. I almost zipped. I almost zipped right to heaven.
Straight through the front pew.
All right, we need some people. I hope somebody's listening. We need somebody to call. Pick a number. I'll answer one.
Okay.
Or take the book.
All right.
And I'll say
give me a number.
37.
37.
37. Number 37.
Any reason you picked 37?
Because it's in the intermediate zone. I'm not in the shallow. I'm in the scuba diving range. And
I picked 23 because I like Michael Jordan.
I picked 37 because
all right,
it's just below.
Okay, here we go. This is pretty good. 37. What three things do you believe without any doubts?
What 3 things do I believe without any doubts?
Yep. 3 things that I guess it's 3 things you're certain of beyond any doubt in your mind.
I don't know. I know I should because I'm a pastor. But I can't say that I've never had any doubts about things. I mean, I wrestle through those doubts. I'd say, number one, that there is a God.
Yes.
I have no doubt about that.
Right.
Sometimes I doubt if it's the real God or if it's the God that I've made up.
Uh-huh.
But I have no doubt that there's a God.
Right.
Number 2, I have no doubt that the Bible is good for my life. I mean, that it leads me in the right directions if I choose to follow the Bible, that things will be better. Things will, I believe that the Word of God gives us the way to know who God is and so on and so forth.
Uh-huh.
So God, the Bible.
I got one for you. Love for your family.
I was gonna say that my family, without a doubt, without any reservations, my wife and my children love me.
Right.
And so.
See, you went deeper than I would. I would have said, I had no doubt in my mind that the grass is green.
Well, we take you back up to the surface, to the snorkel level. Snorkel answer.
Okay.
Guess we have nobody.
Nah, we ain't got
all right, well, you're on. If it's just you and me, we'll just have a conversation here.
45.
45 is the number we chose. Under what circumstances do you feel most lonely?
What circumstances do I feel most lonely?
Yeah.
Is that talking about like a situation?
A circumstance. It could be a situation.
Like, well, I can give you an example. The other night, my wife had taken, and it's one of those things where everybody's at the house and the kids are asking 1,000 questions and you're trying to watch television, you're trying to watch a certain thing, and it may get on your nerves at that time. But when they're not around and you're there by yourself, it's lonely. Okay. I don't know if that's kind of what they were looking for.
I mean, I don't either. I didn't write the book.
I know, that's kind of...
But that's a pretty good answer.
That's about it. I try to surround myself by people I get along with and I like pretty good. And that's, even, I don't know if it's what that fine line is between boredom and loneliness.
Yeah.
But with them, I think with loneliness is, I guess what I'm trying to say is anything, if you're feeling lonely, it still comes back to love. And if you're not feeling, if that love is not there, with the love from my kids, the love from my wife, that's, I
mean, that makes sense because, you can be lonely in a crowd of people.
Yeah, definitely so.
I mean, you could be at amusement, you could be at Carowinds and be lonely.
And there's, there's situations.
Yeah.
I mean, there's situations you can put yourself in.
Yeah.
If you're around, people that are doing certain things that you're not.
Yeah, or even when I was younger, I've been to places where I really didn't feel. My prom, I was lonely at my prom because I didn't want to go, and I went with.
Did you have a date?
Want to go? Yeah.
Well, what did you do?
I did what you do. I sat and listened to music, and I ate.
You didn't dance?
I danced a couple times, but I mean, there was nobody at my table that I liked or knew, or and the girl, we were friends, but
right.
So I mean, I just assumed I'd have been home and been I'd have been less likely to be lonely at home than I would at that thing.
Very good.
And then least lonely.
Oh, it's a two-part question?
Yeah, that's
least lonely?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when I'm surrounded by my friends and my family. I'm telling you, man, I'm a kind of person that I don't like to. I don't know why it started. It's funny because in high school I had friends here and there. I was not as outgoing as I am now. You change. I guess you kind of grow up and your ways change or whatever. Your way of thinking, I guess. I have a different way of thinking now than I did. And even then I still, I had certain friends here and there. I'm not really close with a lot of people. I'm friends with a lot of people, but I'm not really close with there's a few people. And I'm kind of selective like that, But
you're a snob.
I'm a snob.
Right.
Snooty person. And now you're up, Alan Ambrose.
I'm up because nobody's
calling.
Nobody's calling.
How far away are your neighbors?
Oh, they're not too far.
Well, can we call them and tell them to call? All right, give me a number.
All right, I'm gonna still stay in the scuba zone because I'm kind of scared to go in the deep zone.
I'm going in deep.
Yeah, I'm gonna work my way down. Let's see, 174. I'll get close to the deep zone. Yeah, that's still in the scuba diving zone, but 174.
Oh, this will be cool. Yeah, I think I know your answer to this one. We've talked about this a lot. Which of your parents has had the greatest influence on your life, and how?
That would be my mom. Yeah, you were right, because she raised me. My dad passed away when I was 12, and my mom worked really hard to take care of me and take care of my sisters and take care of everybody, other neighbors and people that didn't have places to live and stuff. And she was a good mom. I always felt loved. I always felt cared for.
And a good Samaritan too, from whatever.
Yeah, I said she took care of a lot of folks. So,
all right,
I would say my mother. Well, and my wife. I mean, my wife has put up with all my stupidness. And
are you saying that because
she can't hear me? She can't hear me. She won't listen. She won't even listen to the show. But I mean, she has put up with stuff that I know. That's why I know she loves me. It goes back to the other question because I mean, there are other people. There are other women that I've come in contact with since I've been married, not in a relationship way, but I'll do the same thing I do to Penny. I'll do something, and Penny will be standing there with me, and I remember people just smirking at me like, "You're a moron," and my wife just lets it go. You know what I mean? So I mean, she's always been very supportive. She's never been jealous. She doesn't she trusts me. So,
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pick between the two.
Yeah. Well, I think I mentioned my mom first because I was thinking of my youth, but
yeah,
I'd put my wife. I'd say my wife above.
Really,
my mama.
My parents were a good influence. They don't hear it from me. Yeah, but I was pretty lucky. I was because there's a lot of people my age. They wouldn't let me do a lot of stuff.
Well, it's obvious. I mean, you're a relatively good fellow.
That was a relatively part. Okay,
everything's relative.
Well,
Well,
all right. We're on here. We're talking about 201 great questions. Anybody out there listening? Give us a call.
Hello.
Give us a call. The call-in number is 347-850-8682. That is 347. Please. There's nobody calling.
Huh?
Nobody's going to call us.
They might.
What? Give me another one.
Pick a number.
How high does it go?
Goes up to 201. 176 to 201 are the deep ones.
Give me 185.
185.
I'm going deep.
Any reason?
No, other than the fact that I'm bored. 45 was Jordan's other number.
You're bored. If you should ever be in a fatal car accident, would you want any of your body parts donated to help someone else live or have a better quality of life?
Let me check my license and I'll see.
Why or why not?
I don't know. See, I never really thought of it. They always ask me that, and it's one of them things where I'm kind of indifferent on it. And it's, I'm not going to use them, obviously.
Yeah. Well, there's some people that are very funny about that.
Well, and a lot of it has to do with beliefs.
Yeah. A lot of people are really funny about that. They're like, oh.
But I'm a firm believer that the spirit is separate from the soul, or separate.
Right.
For separate from the body, the soul and the spirit and soul is separate from the body, and I don't see why not.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I'm just like,
right. So I've not thought a lot about it. Now my wife she's yes. One of my sisters is yes, and she said pretty much the same thing I did.
Yeah.
My sister Linda said, I'm not going to use them.
I don't know that anybody would want mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a lazy eye.
Well, they don't. I tell you what, they don't want. They don't want my kidneys.
Yeah, they don't want your kidneys. That's for sure.
Full of stones.
But I mean, I got a lazy eye. I got diabetes, so my vision's not as good.
I can't tell you had a lazy eye.
Well, you used to call it a lazy eye. Now it's just a bad eye.
Okay,
I mean, if I close my one eye,
I've never noticed.
When I go to the doctor and do the eye thing, it's like, read from the top, and with my left eye, I'm like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And when they say read from your right eye, I'm like, I see it's a square piece of paper. So I mean, my knee hurts,
Right.
So I don't know if anybody would want mine, but I'd sure give them away.
Right.
I had my Taekwondo instructor in college gave his kidney to his mom. His mom was going to die, and he donated his kidney.
Really?
Saved her life. Yep.
Well,
he's still alive.
We had a mutual friend who was
yeah, absolutely. I was thinking that when we started talking about it, but I didn't want to mention a name. But
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, gave his eyes and
passed
away and gave away his body parts. My niece, same thing. That when she passed away in a car accident, my sister and her husband donated her stuff, and she was really young, so somebody.
Right. Okay.
Let's
go on.
Just me and you, Rusty.
You and me, my man.
Two guys.
What was that word? You asked me about being lonely a while ago. When am I most lonely? Right now, when we don't have any people calling in.
All right, I'm going to pick a question.
Okay.
Let me go. Did you go deep? You went deep.
I did.
Did 185.
Yeah.
Did I go deep? I don't know if I did.
I don't know, but it wasn't really that deep. I didn't think.
Why
did you say that? I don't get why that was any deeper than anything else.
I think that because it can be kind of a threatening question to some people.
How?
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, like
you either want to do it or
we'll
you
just
don't.
say, like, we're sitting in a group. We go to a party or something. You know what I mean? And they're party questions or whatever. You know what I mean? If I'm sitting in a room with people I don't know and somebody says, what's your favorite color? Well, I'll answer that.
Right.
I don't really have one. But
so you would have a problem with somebody asking you if you wanted to donate your body, your organs?
I don't. But
that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying
why is that any more challenging?
Depending on the people in the group, I might.
I might be
intimidated. Somebody might intimidate me. There might be somebody looking at me hard, going
with a question.
Yeah, they'd be like, "What's up with that, man? What? I wouldn't give my body parts to anybody. Don't you know I'm a?"
Well, that's their prerogative.
I know. But
that's what a question's about. It's all about opinion.
But that's what it is with people. I mean, some people.
Oh man, don't even get me started.
Some people don't want to.
It's like we were joking around. I don't even know why I'm going to this, but we're talking about if somebody doesn't agree with something anymore. They make up their own phobias.
Yeah, phobias.
Yeah, because you don't agree with them, you must have something deeply wrong with you.
Well, I could be a question phobic.
You're a question,
but I'm not really. But I mean, depending on the group of people. You know what I mean? I mean, if you put me in charge of a group, then I'm not going to be. I mean, if I'm leading the group, then I'll ask the questions and I'll answer the questions. It's kind of like now. I'm not afraid to say what I say, but sometimes there are people, like at our church, some people would rather have a Bible study or a class at the church as opposed to someone's home because I don't know why. I mean, but they'd say, if you had a Bible study at church, I'd come to church.
Okay.
But if I'm just not comfortable in somebody's house.
Hey, yeah, I guess you're right.
But see, I'm much more comfortable in somebody's house than I am. I can sit on their couch. I can use their toilet. You know what I mean? It smells better than the one at the church.
I'm usually, I don't know, with me as far as the comfort goes, I don't know. It's according to who's around me. It's the people.
Oh, right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I guess you're right. I mean, if you and I and, the people we talk to at work and stuff, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
You ask me just about anything. Just about. But I guess that's why, because some questions are less threatening than others, and especially if you're like, if you just come into a group or something, you don't know anybody.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you don't want them asking, what's your deepest, darkest sin, or which I wouldn't do that anyway. But what do you think? What's the worst thing you've ever done? If you could kill somebody, would you? You know what I mean? I mean, I'd rather you ask me, what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
Blue.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Pick a number.
All right.
I think it's your turn.
It is.
Okay.
It is. It shouldn't be so hard. 100. No, never mind. That's in the scuba. I don't want to be scuba. I want to be higher. 200.
100 was probably more. That was probably the more serious one I've seen so far.
100?
Yep.
Hit me with it then.
No, let's go to 200. Well, no, okay. 100. 100.
All right, I'm scared now.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
No, it's an obvious answer, but it's probably the most deepest one we've had. Not really deep. Let me read the question.
Okay.
One of the women in your neighborhood comes running to your home seeking protection from a violent, abusive husband. Before you have a chance to call the police, her husband shows up at your front door looking very angry and out of control, asking if his wife is there. How will you handle this situation?
Well, obviously, he doesn't see his wife. She must be in my house already because he's asking if she's there. And I would say, Penny!
Smart!
Now, here's what would probably happen, because Penny and I are almost always together. If we were home together, she would go right to the phone anyway. I wouldn't have to say it. 911 would be called. She'd be in our house.
Yeah, and that's probably the best thing to do.
Right, and have her in the house, and I'd say, police are on their way. And if he's become aggressive toward me, then I'd say, you need to keep your distance. And I know that's different. I mean, that's real passionate stuff. I mean, I say policemen get killed in domestics.
Absolutely.
And then I'd get in the house and lock the door.
Yeah.
And wait for the cops to come.
And then the guy, what if then he starts breaking your windows and stuff?
Well, then we're gonna go. I have a son that'll.
Right.
And between him and I can distract him while my son smacks him upside the head or something. But I mean.
And that's a hard one. Who knows what kind of people you're dealing with?
And who knows? Honestly, I mean, it's admirable for me to say that I would do that.
Yeah. But
I'm not scared, and it's not happening.
Right.
I mean, I'm in the safety of my own home with people that are friendly, and I mean, who knows what could happen?
Right. Yeah, that's it. Because you don't know how people are. It's scary on the road.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. That's what I'd do. I'd call the police first thing and try and keep her safe and keep us safe, obviously.
Okay, that's cool.
Hit her with a taekwondo crescent kick.
And then you'll get him in a figure four.
Yeah, figure four leg lock. And
I would like to say something today. I found out that Dusty Rhodes died.
Yep.
You came up to me and told me that, and that was sad for me. We did the wrestling show and everything. A lot of people out there don't like wrestling if they care less, but I've just about bet at some point everybody has been exposed to.
The majority of people know who Dusty Rhodes is.
Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, Daddy.
Yeah.
I have wined and dined with kings and queens, and I have slept in the alleys and ate pork and beans.
You think, well, that part's true, but you think he's wined and dined with kings and queens?
Probably. I don't know. According to what you define as kings and queens, he made a lot of money. I'm sure he did that.
Oh yeah,
and he did. He was great on the mic.
Yeah, that was his.
All right.
For a big man, he moved
well. Great.
All right,
innovator. 201.
You're going to go for the last question. The author, Jerry Jones, that's the last page of the book.
Was that the prologue?
Yeah. Where are you in your spiritual journey right now? and where would you like to be?
Oh, that was a good one. That's a good one. Where I'm at right now, I'm not where I want to be. I want to be closer to God. This is me. Anybody out there listening who's an atheist, oh well. Because this is my opinion.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree with me, you're a Christian phobic.
Yeah.
But no, me personally, I want to be closer to God than I am now. It's he's still there. He's honestly, he'll never leave me. But I would like to do more for him, and be closer with him, bring my family closer to him. I fail in a lot of ways, man. I do. I make up a lot of his excuses, but the fact of the matter is, it's your life and my life to make those choices that I make. It's nobody's fault but my own that I'm not closer with him. So that's where I'm at. Is not where I want to be. But I'm glad that I know God. I'm glad that I accepted Christ, because I'm pretty much fixed shape if anything happens. Oh. So if I were to take that, let's rewind. And if I were to take that $50,000 and I jumped and something happened, I'm okay. And my family would be okay because they get the money. But, I wonder what God would think of that.
He'd think it was foolish.
He would. He would. And
I would think that he would anyway. I mean, it's self-centered.
It's self-centered and self-serving.
Yeah, self-serving.
For sure.
So.
Wow. You on another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean the number.
195.
195. All right. This will probably be our last question. And I'd like to thank everybody for calling in tonight. All right, here we go. Oh, this is define deep personal faith. How would you describe your own faith, your own experience of faith?
Define deep personal faith. Well,
and define your own
my own personal faith.
Experience of faith.
Well, my faith wavers sometimes, but I think honestly, if I'm going to be honest, and I think if people typically are honest, then their faith, most people's faith wavers sometimes. And the Bible does talk about God giving more faith to some people than others.
Mm-hmm.
But my faith, it's hung from a thread a couple times in the last few years, but it's never faltered.
It's always there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've noticed that. I'm no Joe.
But my biggest issue with faith is probably if my faith, not my faith in God, but my faith in my understanding of God.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was raised a certain way, to believe a certain way, and as I get older, I realize that some of those ways aren't necessarily true, like tradition and man taught. And so then that makes me question, well, maybe this other stuff is that way too. So, but I mean, that's it. It's lasted for 50 years. So.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not 50 years. 39 years, 49.
Oh.
39.
Oh, I thought you were.
Yeah, I guess I was 1 year old.
That's measuring by age.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
So.
Yeah, I can identify.
Oh, we have a caller.
Oh, me.
This is Johnny.
Is that Randy Harris?
I want to.
No.
Yeah, we got. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. And next week, now this is something we were flirting with, and I just threw it out there, and you'll hear anything on this show. You want to do it?
Yeah.
Aliens. Anybody
UFOs,
out there
aliens.
has seen an alien, a UFO, or has thought about seeing an alien or a UFO? Or
Not on TV.
Not on television. We're not talking ET stuff here. Yeah. I'm talking about full-fledged encounters of the first kind. Especially if you've been taken aboard. We really want to hear from you. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. And we'll see you next time. So then, so long for now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.